So we are back here at the hole, and today's plan is we've got to make a 350mm frame and get it sighted on here in the correct position, and then strengthen it all up. So yeah, this bit here has not gone very well. Something's been trying to dig it up. I assume that's the foxes that live in here. Sorry about this little bit here. It's yeah, that's the camera adjuster. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. 350mm frame, going to make, drop it in, and then we're going to have to make blocks here out of concrete just to hold the frame in place and stop it bowing out, and really fix it and lock it in, because we don't want it moving or spreading when the concrete goes in, because we really can't afford another £1,000 in extra concrete. So anyway, so that's what we're doing. Enjoy the video, and catch you in a bit. So we've started building the frame today and slapped it down on the cement blinding, concrete blinding, and I thought I'd show you. So we've not levelled this in any way, shape or form. There's no packers, as you can see, it's all fairly open. But Gary Neville is pretty bang in the middle, and we'll just go down here somewhere, maybe to here. Right, it's not far out, is it? And over this side, see how we are on this side. Okay, we've got a bit of a bubble lean there, but not much. Maybe this side. Okay, we've got a bit more bubble lean, but it's not far, is it? And we haven't done anything. So yeah, well happy with that one. Been patching in the concrete where all the septic tanks were, just try and get rid of some sharp edges so there's nothing punches the membrane. So we've done all that. We've squared all this off for sure. It's 345 square. We've done diagonals as well, and it's pretty much there. The frame is now all level all the way around, so that's at ground level. We started digging some old fence posts in at an angle because that's got to pick up the side over here, so there'll be timbers coming off here and going down and going that way just to stop everything pushing out. They'll get filled with some concrete, which I'll then dig out later on. We've got 3 more holes to do along here, and then we've got 3 holes to do along here. The back of here we're just going to backfill with concrete just to stop the spread, just a weak mix which will break down eventually and be lovely. Well, we're almost ready now for getting all that mesh in and the membrane and whatnot. So we've obviously levelled out this side of the bank because it's all heaped up. We've backfilled, we've put concrete in spots all the way down just to hopefully keep it all where it needs to be. This side obviously is out the ground because this ground level is a lot lower than ground level, if that makes sense. So we've put posts in the ground at an angle, as you can see, all the way along, and then put timbers across. And so now I think it's pretty solid. Yeah, so tomorrow's plan is we start getting all that mesh in once we've obviously swept out the hole and whatnot. But we're getting there. It has been a nightmare and expensive at that, but anyway, see you in the next video. So you probably noticed that we're on phone footage, and these were shorts I uploaded to the channel as I was building it. So a lot of this you may have seen already. We've had so many problems with GoPro, and I believe I've solved that. I've also believed I've solved the sound issues and all sorts. But also I've got now my office is built because it's built. I can do these voiceovers, so it's not so much of a problem now as it was before. So I do apologise, and I am working on kind of fixing it properly. The other thing is I don't seem to have the video where I've showed you how I straightened these grounds out. And basically what I did was I ran a string line from one end to the other, but I came in 100mm. So all you had to do was measure from the string to the timber, and then bring the timber to that 100mm mark, and that means you get dead straight lines. And it was the easiest way and the best way I could think about doing it because it's such a long run. That's 15.3 meters and 5.3 meters wide. Also, we used Pythagoras to work out the hypotenuse to make sure that the grounds are square, and I'm very happy with how it turns out. I spend a lot of time setting up and making sure things are level, and you've seen the video putting the levels on. Well, I've now been round and put packers in, and it's been screwed to the the kind of the base now. So that is where it's going to be. Also adding those extra timbers, we were warned by the concrete mixing people that you get blowouts, and to stop that, so we've done a lot of extra work to make sure that that frame stays where we put it. And I can promise you it didn't move when we poured the concrete. So I don't know if you enjoy that level of detailed, and I'm going to try and be a little bit more OCD with the video in the future. It's just that when we were doing this, I had about a 2-week window to get things in before we started getting frosts, and I didn't want to pour that amount of concrete when there was a risk of a frost. So the pressure was on. I was very stressed at this point. There's a lot of money has gone into getting to this stage, and I couldn't make it. Like I couldn't afford for things to go wrong. So videoing wasn't high on my list, which I regret now. But at the time, I was doing the best I could. So anyway, thank you for watching. And I hope you're enjoying these videos and everything else. I really appreciate the views we do get, and if you subscribe, even better. Give me a thumbs up, leave comments. Comments really help, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So ciao for now.